For second down, we want to switch gears a little bit and talk about the Magic series. They obviously take the Sixers out of the postseason with their win without Dwight Howard on the floor last night. And an interesting comment came out of this. Andre Miller said that the Magic are a better team without Dwight Howard. Now, this came because he said that there was a Magic player that shared that opinion. I want to point out that Dennis Newman was on First Take earlier, and he's the voice of the Magic, and he said that he thought that was coming from sort of just somebody joking around saying that this team was better without having Dwight's points. All right, I will ask, do you agree? Do you think they are better without him?
First and foremost, that's a bad joke. Next, I'm not going to get all the way on Andre Miller because I'm not 100% sure that's what he said, and I respect him as an intelligent basketball player, so I don't think he will say something that stupid.
Well, is it stupid?
I think that's what Jalen is saying.
No, it's absolutely, positively not true. Come on, you got the Defensive Player of the Year, led the league in rebounds, probably the guy that's going to do that for the next 10 years. There's nowhere you're better without him. You had a good game, but how about this? Philadelphia didn't show up. They were on their home basketball court. This was an opportunity for them to seize and go back to Game 7 and see what happened. They didn't show up. They were ready to go hurry up and watch the Boston Celtics versus the Chicago Bulls.
Let me ask you this. Do you know Andre Miller well, or are you friends?
Through competition.
Okay. Do you think he made that up, that a Magic player told him that?
I don't think he said that, and I don't think a Magic player would say that with a straight face.
With a straight face? How do you know?
I don't believe unnamed sources.
Here's where I do
I don't believe unnamed sources.
Okay, here's where I do think that there's merit to whatever the unnamed player allegedly said or didn't say, okay? On offense last night, I only watched the first quarter, which was all you needed to watch, because then I got riveted by the other real game. But I thought they were way better on offense last night, especially when the game started, because this team has been playing tight and playing not to lose with Dwight Howard in the lineup. And last night, they were free and easy, and J.J. Redick came out of mothballs, and he had 5 threes. And I can make a case, big picture, they are better on offense with that Marcin Gortat, the Polish hammer in the offensive lineup. If you could do that, do like a designated offensive player, because Philly was killing them, just playing every three-point shooter tight, single covering Dwight Howard, and daring them to lob it into him because he is still extremely offensively challenged. Now, big picture, I completely agree, because he is the Defensive Player of the Year, and it was that was a slam dunk for me, because the only reason I'm giving Orlando a chance to beat Cleveland, if it ever comes to that, is because of Dwight Howard patrolling the lane on defense, guarding the rim, changing and blocking every Cleveland shot, mostly LeBron.
So better off offensively without him, but not
again, that was the quote, that offensively they're better without Dwight Howard. And I think there's merit to that statement. Do you disagree?
Yes, because they didn't win yesterday's game because of their offense.
I disagree with that.
They won yesterday's game because of their defense, and their defense put them in a position to be
you just said Philly didn't show up.
Rafer Alston had 21 points, 10 assists. Rashard Lewis was mixing up his game on the post. J.J. Redick knocked down a couple of open threes. But ultimately, that was a product of balance.
Okay, but the pressure went all back on Philly last night because there was no Courtney Lee and no Dwight Howard, right? So they were choking their brains out at home.
Philadelphia showed up at the game with golf clubs in the trunk. They didn't come to play.
I disagree with that.
They did not
I totally disagree with that.
They had 2 guys in double figures.
Why would they do that?
They didn't show up.
Well, they had a Game 7 on a silver platter.
I was one of the only people probably watching that game. And trust me, they did not show up. They laid an egg in the first half.
Yeah, but it's because they were playing tight.
They were down double figures in the first quarter. You know, every NBA game, even if you're playing hard, you have an opportunity to make a run. They were out of it from the entire game.
Okay, but why would they want to end the series with a real easy shot to go back to Orlando for Game 7?
They were up 2-1 last year, and they lost the series.
All right. That's going to do it for that topic. We'll move on to the Western Conference.